The Young and the Restless spoilers shock title, The Bonds That Bind, a tale of love, loss, and unyielding hope in Genoa, in the charming town of Genoa, where every street corner holds whispers of past glories and hidden sorrows. The true meaning of family is being redefined. Amid the shifting allegiances and personal battles that have long plagued these residents, a picture of heartfelt unity and bittersweet joy begins to emerge, a scene that encapsulates both the promise of renewal and the sting of painful separation. A family reborn on one radiant afternoon, the gentle laughter of a child mingled with the soft murmur of familial chatter as Harrison, the innocent and ever-curious son, played alongside his father, Kyle, and the woman who had captured his heart, Summer. Together, they painted a portrait of what many long for but few truly experience, a genuine family, bound not only by blood but by shared dreams, unspoken promises, and the unyielding desire to forge a better tomorrow. In their embrace, there was an undeniable warmth, a sense of belonging that defied the tumultuous history that had once threatened to tear them apart. The image was both captivating and heartwarming. Kyle, with a calm strength born of years of hardship, stood protectively close to Summer, whose love for him had only deepened with time. The gentle, playful pats from Harrison as he ran between them were the soundtrack of their newfound happiness, a harmony that served as a beacon of hope for all who had ever doubted that love, in its purest form, could conquer even the darkest of days. The unavoidable truth, this genuine display of familial bliss was more than a fleeting moment. It was the very reason why no one in Genoa should ever overlook the importance of togetherness. In a world where past grievances and present uncertainties often overshadow the simple beauty of human connection, the sight of Kyle, Summer, and Harrison reveling in their shared happiness was a reminder that real family is built on more than just duty. It is nurtured by love, laughter, and the courage to start anew. Yet, as the echoes of their joy spread through the quiet alleys and sunlit courtyards, not everyone was able to share in the warmth of that moment. For some, the scene sparked a tumult of emotions, a cocktail of longing, regret, and seething bitterness. The lingering shadows of the past Claire, a figure marked by her own internal struggles, found herself unable to escape the relentless grip of a mental illness that had long cast a shadow over her life. The demands of her new classes, her first tentative steps toward reclaiming some semblance of normality, had inadvertently cost her precious time with Kyle and the son she so desperately wished to be a part of. It was a cruel irony. While the very act of pursuing personal healing demanded sacrifice, it was that sacrifice which left her further isolated from the bonds she once held dear. On that fateful day, as Claire attended to her studies in the quiet solitude of a dimly lit classroom, fate intervened. A sudden break in her schedule allowed her to step outside for a moment of respite, only to be confronted by a scene that would forever sear itself into her troubled heart. There, in the midst of the town's golden afternoon glow, Kyle and Summer were wrapped in a tender embrace, their laughter mingling with the delighted squeals of Harrison as he darted between them. They were lost in a world of their own making, a sanctuary where the weight of past mistakes and the bitterness of old wounds had been momentarily forgotten. For Claire, the sight was nothing short of agonizing. Every joyful laugh, every gentle touch, served as a stark reminder of all that she had lost. Unable to contain the surge of emotions swelling inside her, she erupted in a fury of shouts, her voice raw with a potent mixture of anger, envy, and sorrow. "How can they be so happy?" she screamed, her voice echoing off the nearby walls. Yet, in the midst of her outburst, no one seemed to notice. Harrison, innocent in his exuberance, clapped his little hands in delight at the unexpected display of passion, unaware that his adoration for his family might soon be marred by the harsh truths of reality. Deep down, Claire understood a painful truth. If she allowed herself to spiral into further dramatic outbursts, the already fragile image of herself in young Harrison's eyes would shatter irreparably. The thought of being seen as a symbol of instability, a constant reminder of the turbulent past, filled her with a deep-seated dread. In that instant, the room seemed to close in around her, trapping her in a vortex of regret and self-loathing. She knew that her every action now carried the heavy burden of potential loss, a loss not just of respect or love, but of the very chance to rebuild the bonds that had once meant everything. A guiding hand from the past in the midst of these intersecting lives and clashing emotions, one figure continued to stand as a quiet, unwavering pillar of strength, Victor. A man whose wisdom and determination had long been a source of inspiration, Victor had dedicated himself to nurturing the fragile sparks of love that still burned in the hearts of those around him. Recognizing the transformative power of genuine affection, he became the silent architect behind Summer's ever-deepening love, a love that promised to mend old fractures and bring light to even the darkest of corners. Victor was not one to stand idly by as the tides of destiny threatened to sweep away the chance for happiness. With a resolve born out of years of hardship and triumph, he set about creating the ideal conditions for Summer's eventual reunion with Kyle. His vision was grand and deeply personal. He wanted to see not only the rekindling of a lost love but also to ensure that the next generation, his beloved grandchildren, especially his two cherished granddaughters, would grow up in a world where hope and happiness were within reach. Every move Victor made was calculated, designed to bridge the gap between past estrangements and future possibilities. He orchestrated small gestures, a kind word here, a gentle reminder there, each one contributing to the slow but steady restoration of the family's unity. For him, the dream of a complete family was not just an abstract hope, it was a tangible goal, a mission that demanded unwavering dedication and sacrifice. His heart swelled with pride each time he witnessed a fleeting moment of harmony between Kyle and Summer, a moment that promised a brighter future for all. The collision of hope and heartbreak yet, as Victor labored to mend broken ties, the emotional landscape around him grew ever more complex. The happiness that Kyle, Summer, and Harrison now shared was a beacon of hope for many, but it also served as a painful reminder of what had been lost and what could never be recovered. For Claire, each passing moment of familial bliss was a dagger twisting in her heart, a symbol of the life she could no longer reclaim. As she stood on the periphery, watching with tear-filled eyes and a seething inner turmoil, Claire felt herself slipping further away from the world that once held promise. The laughter of the family, a laughter so full of life and unburdened joy, only deepened the fissures in her already fragile soul. Her desperate shouts, though born of genuine anguish, were met with indifferent smiles and fleeting glances, as if the universe itself had decided that her pain was a solitary burden she must bear alone. In that poignant moment, the intricate dance of fate revealed its cruel irony. Claire was painfully aware that any further display of uncontrolled emotion could permanently tarnish the delicate image she had left in Harrison's impressionable mind. The realization was both a comfort and a curse, a reminder that sometimes, the cost of clinging to one's pain was the very thing one wished to preserve, the chance to be remembered as a part of a loving family. The promise of new beginnings. Despite the heartache and the challenges that lay ahead, hope was not entirely lost in Genoa. The family unit, embodied by Kyle, Summer, and little Harrison, stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Their laughter and tender embraces were not just fleeting moments of happiness, they were a promise that, even after the darkest nights, the dawn would eventually break through. Victor's unwavering commitment to facilitating a reunion between Kyle and Summer was a beacon of optimism, a reminder that love, when nurtured with care and guided by wisdom, had the power to heal even the deepest of wounds. He believed that the true measure of a family's strength was not found in its ability to avoid pain, but in its capacity to overcome adversity and to rise, time and time again, from the ashes of past heartbreak. For Kyle and Summer, every shared glance and every playful moment with Harrison was a step toward a future defined not by the mistakes of the past, but by the promise of new beginnings. Their journey was fraught with challenges, unspoken regrets, moments of doubt, and the ever-looming threat of loss, but in that very struggle lay the essence of their strength. They were more than just individuals caught in the throes of fate, they were the living embodiment of a family determined to rewrite its story, one filled with love, forgiveness, and the unwavering belief in a better tomorrow. Epilogue, a tapestry of emotions in the complex tapestry of life in Genoa, every thread, every laugh, every tear, every outburst of anger or burst of joy contributed to a larger, more intricate picture of human experience. The scene of Kyle, Summer, and Harrison, united in their joy and hope, served as a powerful reminder of what was at stake, the chance to build a legacy of love that could transcend even the deepest wounds of the past. As Victor watched from afar, his heart brimming with cautious optimism, he knew that the road ahead would not be easy. Yet he also understood that true family is not defined by perfection, but by the willingness to stand together in the face of adversity, to forgive, and to keep moving forward despite the odds. His efforts to bring Kyle and Summer back together were a labor of love, one that held the promise of a future where his cherished grandchildren, whether granddaughters or any child of love, could thrive in a world filled with possibility and grace. For Claire, the journey was far more personal and painful, a struggle against forces that threatened to break her spirit. The bitter taste of isolation and regret was hard to swallow, yet deep within her, there flickered a fragile ember of hope. Perhaps, someday, she too would find a way to reclaim her place in the intricate mosaic of their shared lives, a place where, even in moments of anger and despair, the bonds of family could heal and restore what was once lost. In Genoa, where every heart beats with its own story of triumph and tragedy, the interplay of light and shadow is what makes the human experience so profoundly beautiful. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, reflective shadows over the town, the promise of a new day lingered in the cool evening air, a silent vow that no matter how fractured the present may seem, the bonds of family, when nurtured with unwavering love, can indeed mend even the deepest of wounds. And so, in the midst of tears, laughter, and the echo of whispered dreams, the legacy of this unique family continued to unfold. A vivid reminder that in the tapestry of life, every moment, every heartbeat, contributes to a story of resilience, hope, and the enduring power of love.